looks like we're teaching from home today, everybody. Welcome to Professor Potter's class, where we're going to teach you some really good tricks to beat coronavirus, which is really the biggest topic on everyone's mind today. What are we going to fucking do? This fire is really important. This blow dryer is really important. If you don't know how to use magic like me, or if you don't have a fireplace or ability to create fire, really good investment. Your body is actually creating a fever to battle that virus. The virus isn't causing it, it's your body's immune system trying to battle it. In my world, this is a natural battle. This is a natural threat. It's an organism, and it requires a natural understanding of your body's ecosystem, as well as the threats and weaknesses of this virus. You need to understand this virus from an ecological perspective. What are its weaknesses? What are its strengths? And how can I help my body during that process? When Harry Potter had coronavirus, me, I put my back up against this fire every day, and it allowed everything to break up. It's very important while using heat therapy to monitor your temperature, to have somebody available if you can. I know that people are alone right now, but to have somebody to monitor you while you do use heat, to monitor your internal temperature as well at the same time, to make sure that you do not get too warm. But regulating that temperature is a really good thing to beat that virus. No one should be drinking ice water. No one should be taking ice baths for this particular fever. There are lots of different fevers out there. For this particular one, you will increase the chances of the virus replicating. It does slow the virus down, but it also slows down your immune system. So cold is not good. I just read recently that somebody used a blow dryer on their face, which I would also highly recommend. We're looking at any kind of heat here that will make it uncomfortable for the virus to replicate and make it harder for it to survive. It hates heat. So what I did was I just took this Vicks Vapor Rub, really not endorsed by this, went like this all over my chest. Like I coated it. Like it says to be generous. I'm very generous. A lot. And on the back, and I sat here as close as I could. Oh. Might as well just take it off. You don't want the shirt to catch fire or get too hot, because I do sit pretty close. So once you're really adding heat to your lungs, where this virus is currently hiding out, you're gonna, well, at least when I had coronavirus, I could actually feel my lungs breaking up, and I had a dry cough for about 5 days. And then I got a really bad fever. I had the fever for 5 days, but then it got really bad and my face started to swell. And I started to get really scared. I started to look up meningitis, and I was like, okay, maybe I should call the hospital. And I was like, no, maybe this will, and I thought to myself, I probably shouldn't go into the hospital just in case this is really contagious. So I stayed home and I did this, okay? Second, I have always soup and bone broth in my freezer. So I thawed it out. Horseradish. And I ate horseradish with my soup, okay? Horseradish. This is an extremely powerful anti-mucoid. I usually have it fresh growing, but it's winter. It's winter. Oh my god, it's so hot. It's so hot. Oh my god. So, as you can see, I'm sure my back is red. I did this in rotation, and then I sat with my chest, and there's a vent right here for the fire. It's blowing very dry air, and so I started to do breathing exercises. And you breathe in as much as you can, and then you breathe out. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to add hot air into your lungs, and it's dry air, and it's gonna hurt, and you're gonna want to cough, and this is going to help with that. And you should bang on your chest, boom, boom, boom. Okay, banging on your chest. Especially up in the top here, okay? And technically, you should sound like a gorilla by doing this. And yeah, it's really amusing to watch. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to break up in your lungs the places that are currently overwhelmed, and the horseradish is going to help with that. The Vicks Vapor Rub is going to help with that, and the blow dryer if you have it, or the fireplace if you have it, or a heating blanket if you have it. I don't ever recommend necessarily jumping into a really hot shower, because then you're heating the entire body. And a hot bath isn't really good either, because you're heating the entire body and it could cause you to pass out. So it's really important to really make sure that you're isolating that added heat into the areas that the viruses are. The virus isn't really in your feet, it's not, it's in your face, most likely. It could have spread from your lungs to your face, or vice versa. And it's also affecting people's central nervous system. It's affecting people's membrane on the brain, and their throats and their nose, and trying to keep that core area a little bit warmer than the rest, while monitoring your internal temperature to make sure that your fever isn't getting out of control. This is all about anti-congestion. This is about clearing up the chances of you drowning of the liquid in your lungs, which is why people are having a hard time breathing. And so, I'm not saying that these things will cure you. I'm not saying that these things will kill the virus. I'm just saying that I think we're desperate enough right now to do anything that we can. And all of these things are very helpful, but it's about how you do them. So, if you have access to heat, it's really, really important. The next thing is internal heat. Oh, so important. Hot soup, hot tea. We're talking about really good soups with immune boosting things, so don't go out and eat potato soup, all right? And teas, and we're talking about hot temperatures here. Drink the soup by the fireplace like I did. So I basically sat here, not all day, it was in routines. Okay, so I did a little bit by the fire. I'd have some soup by the fire, and I would do my breathing exercises, and I would have my soup. I would put horseradish in my mouth, and then I would do the breathing exercises to bring the horseradish into my lungs, breathing through my nose, exhaling that horseradish in my mouth that whole time, and it's going to open up everything. And then I'm drinking soup, which is heat, and adding that heat down through my lungs. All of that is going to help, trust me. You might not win, you might have another condition, but it's gonna help, and that's all that there is to it. Now, I will do some other videos related to what everybody else already knows, but this is really the most important thing. It's fire therapy, heat therapy, and using everything you can to make that virus as uncomfortable as possible so that your body can win, so that what you're adding to boost your immunity actually works, so that the antiviral medication is supported by heat. Heat helps with the congestion as well. It dries it up. I'm gonna show you this freaking back right now. Oh my god. So, that's where I'm at right now. As you can see, I don't know, it's not too red, but it is warm, okay? And so for my face, if I have a lot of swelling in my face, which I did, okay, I took my glasses off. Don't want to melt Harry Potter's glasses. All right, so very carefully, you might want to hold your hair back as well, or put your hair in a cap, because I already burned my hair doing this once, and I probably don't want to do it again. But you know, from about a few inches away, I just kind of rotated my face slowly against the fire, like this. And I breathed through my nose and my chest with lots of Vicks on. And I did this until my face literally felt like it was bubbling inside, like I could feel it opening. And then that's when I knew that this was successful. And I kept doing it, and my sinuses opened up for the first time in like 6 days. Okay, and I did this. I put Vicks all over my face as well, under my nose, did breathing exercises, all right? And this is how to use heat. And so that concludes the heat therapy lesson by Harry Potter today. It's a very hot class on heat therapy, and it's very necessary in this time. And I really want everybody to understand this message. And we have to use everything that we know about viruses, especially this one in particular, and use everything that we know to win and to help others. So please pass this message on and get the story out there. Harry Potter is definitely here to help.